Hello and welcome to Post to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams.
Whoa.
Time for a serious discussion in this video.
Really?
There's some
shenanigans.
There was some shenanigans last night during the San Jose St. Louis game in overtime. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, basically there was a hand pass in front of the net. It resulted to a San Jose goal in overtime. It looked like it might be reversed to be no goal, but the officials had a chat and decided to leave the ice, and that was the game. And St. Louis fans were throwing stuff on the ice. Everyone was pretty upset. It was pretty wild.
Bennington almost broke some lumber there at the end.
He did. He almost broke some glass, too.
Ooh.
But, so basically, I want to have a discussion about this and some other possible rule changes and what's happened so far in these playoffs. I read a Sportsnet article, and they said, when you look back at playoffs and you think about images, you think about people raising the cup for the first time, or like their long beards, or jumping like on a big pile on top of each other and stuff. What's the images you're going to think about when you look back at these playoffs? It's going to be two refs talking to each other.
Yeah, or four.
All
four of them gathered in a huddle.
Exactly.
Trying to figure out what to do next.
There's been so many individual,
like
controversial things that have happened in the playoffs, and I want to note on them all. Mm-hmm. But this video is mainly about the glove pass from last night. Now, I am wearing St. Louis merchandise right now, but I am a San Jose Sharks fan, and as a Sharks fan, that should not have been a goal last night. It's like one of the first things I said on Discord when we were watching it, and even the San Jose Sharks fans on Discord who were watching, they all said, "Yeah, that should not be a goal." So, the majority of even Sharks fans are in agreement that should not have been a goal, and I see a lot of people on mainly Twitter, to be honest, complaining about the Sharks and getting angry at the Sharks. Well, it's not the Sharks' fault. If you want to get angry at the refs or the NHL or the people like the officiating association who writes the rules and makes the rules and all this stuff. It's not the Sharks' fault.
No.
Like they are benefiting from it.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're doing it on purpose.
And this is not ultimate frisbee where you call a penalty on yourself. They depend on the four people on the ice and whoever else is watching video, people up in the stands, the officiating crew, whether they're wearing a suit and tie or stripes. They're depending on all those people to do their jobs. And all San Jose's job is to go out there and try to get the puck in the net legally and by whatever means possible, or not get caught getting the puck in the net not fully legally. You can't blame them. They're not going to skate up to the ref. Timo Meier's not going to go up to the ref and say, actually, that was a hand pass. You probably shouldn't call that a goal.
Yeah, well, and Carlson even said it after the game, like near the ref, so the ref could hear that. He's like, yeah, it was a hand pass.
And then later on in the dressing room, he says, well, I haven't seen the replay yet, but I just know that I was looking for the puck, and I found the puck, and I put it in the net.
Yeah.
So, man, I have a lot of conflicting things in my head about that play and about how the NHL should approach these things.
Do you blame the referees?
No.
Okay.
I blame the rule book as it stands now, which I think limits the power of the referees to do the right thing.
I agree. And with that said, there is a rule that they could have potentially used to call back the goal, but it's a kind of a gray area rule.
Yeah.
Intentionally to add a bit of subjectivity to it.
Yep.
Do you have the rule in front of you by any chance?
I do.
Do you mind reading it out loud?
It's 38.4 subsection 9.
Yeah.
And it says, the league can assist the referees in determining the legitimacy of all potential goals. For example, to ensure they are good hockey goals. Examples are, but not limited to, and this is the interesting point, not limited to. So this isn't giving you all of the reasons or all of the methods. It's a sample of some of them.
Yeah.
And they are pucks that enter the net by going through the net meshing, pucks that enter the net from underneath the net frame, pucks that hit the spectator netting prior to being directed immediately into the goal, pucks that enter the net undetected by the referee, etc. And etc. means and other things, too, that we're not going to enumerate right now.
Things that don't make good hockey goals. It's all about good hockey goals.
Yeah.
And that's where the gray area, they're allowing this area for the referees to make the decision. So technically, they could have called back that goal and referenced that specific rule in subsection. But they decided not to. Maybe they didn't feel like it was worthy of it.
Or didn't see it when it happened. And this is the other thing that could have happened.
Man, there's 4 refs on the
Referee
ice.
sees Meyer bat the puck. He starts to bring the whistle to his lips, or he could say later that, oh, the minute I saw Meyer bat that puck, I was planning to blow this play dead. Mm-hmm. And I was going to blow it dead, not because it resulted in a goal, but because I saw him bat the puck to Nyquist. And that could have been how this thing progressed after that point. Because oftentimes we've seen in the past where the puck goes in before you hear the whistle, but the referee's view is that, well, I was going to blow the whistle when I was in the process, the intent. And the intent could have been here, too, to blow that play dead, because the hand pass is an illegal move anywhere in the ice, not just in the crease or not just near the net. It gets called all the time. Just like a high stick gets called all the time when it touches a puck above the crossbar or above the shoulders. So there's really 2 things intersecting here. There's the hand pass that should have been blown dead before the goal even happened.
Yes.
If it was a hand pass directly to Carlson and Carlson puts it in the net, it might have been an easier call to call that back.
I agree.
But it was a hand pass that ended up with Nyquist, and Nyquist moved it over to Carlson, and then it went in. So the minute you don't get it on the way to Nyquist, you lose your chance to get it.
Yeah. Do you know the other side of the argument, what people are arguing?
Oh, I've heard many.
That he was trying to knock the puck down to himself, but didn't get a chance to get it. And that goes to the intention.
Exactly.
It's not about intention. I didn't intend to high stick that person. Well, guess what? You did.
Yeah.
I didn't intend to flip the puck over the glass. Guess what? You did. That's a penalty.
Intent can't be, unless there's an intent to injure.
Right.
In a violent play.
That's different.
But intent usually is not factored in. It's the result of what you did.
It is the
not
result.
what you intended.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't agree with that argument specifically. It was a hand pass, intentional or not. I can't believe it was missed by 4 referees. That just seems crazy to me. But
yeah, there was a lot of traffic around the net at that point.
There was, but
he was down. He was hunched over the puck. So you've got one of the refs probably behind him who can't see.
One of the refs was behind him. I saw on the replay.
Yeah. And another one maybe back, maybe not even along the red line, maybe back farther. And you got 2 linesmen who usually don't come in beyond the blue line. So you've got not great sight lines there. So I can understand that none of them saw it. I think if even one of those guys in that huddle of 4 afterwards said, it was a clear, obvious hand pass.
Right. Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
And maybe none of them did see it. It's a little hard to believe that none of them got a good look at it.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
I mean, it happens. So.
But it's a very, very fast game. And I feel so bad for St. Louis.
I do too.
On the other side of the coin, though, St. Louis had a 4-3 lead with a minute left in the third period. And San Jose had the goalie pulled. And St. Louis had a few chances, but San Jose was really putting the gas on. Mm-hmm. And St. Louis allowed that game to get tied up. It was a clean goal to tie it with 59 point whatever seconds left. Mm-hmm. And kind of like the Vegas situation where Vegas was the team that allowed 3 unanswered goals on a 5-minute power play.
So Vegas and St. Louis both had fate in their hands before any controversy happened.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing that grinds me, though, and I'm actually pulling for St. Louis, and I know you're not, but you're okay with whoever wins. But St. Louis was down 2-0 in that game. They came back.
Yeah.
They got ahead. They held on. They were playing so well. And then this crazy thing happened.
And that's the unfortunate part.
Oh, man.
Because it ruins a good game, and that was a really good game.
It was a great game, and it won't be remembered for that now.
It won't, yeah.
It'll be remembered for this.
Remembered for that, for anything. Like, same with some other series, and I have some listed here that have some controversy.
Well, but here's the funny thing. The 3 most prominent officiating misses or controversies were the non-call or the call on Vegas.
Right.
The 5-minute. I think it was Landeskog's skate at the blue line when he's going in the bench. Mm-hmm. And this one here. And who benefited from all 3 calls? The San Jose Sharks. I'm not saying there's anything going on here, but the San Jose Sharks have had luck on their side with the reffing. Now, that luck eventually runs out for every team who has it. And I pray for the fans of the San Jose Sharks that luck lasts till the end of this season because it'll turn around.
It's not like they always have luck. Like there was a puck over the glass penalty last night in the game, and it wasn't called against St. Louis, and St. Louis got really lucky on that.
Yeah.
And that was the turning point of the game, that penalty wasn't called, and after that, St. Louis just came on heavy. So,
and that's what happens when you have humans in charge.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Totally.
And that there's three options here. Leave the humans in charge and forget the replay stuff and get Toronto out of the picture. Stop interfering with what the referees are seeing on the ice. That is an option, and it's defendable.
It's an option.
Because that's what was done prior to maybe 1990 or whatever. Right. The other advantage, and someone made the point on this today, and I think it was Colin Campbell actually, because he was on Sportsnet or one of those talk shows halfway through the day. He said, we have such a luxury now sitting at home being experts on everything, watching the game in our high-definition televisions. Mm-hmm. Try to imagine that play in the old 640 by 480 or whatever it was, standard definition, 525 line, 30 scans a second, fuzzy screen, and try to see how much you would get of that play then and how much of a strong opinion you would form then. And that is a good point.
It is a good point.
Because we're sitting back with all the technology at our hands, and we're saying, how come none of the four of them got it? Well...
And we know in seconds what the right call is. Basically, in 98% of the situations, we know what the right call is.
We do.
So why can't they?
That's the next point. Why can't... If we can know, how come Toronto or the NHL in New York or whoever can't make this happen so that bad goals don't count? This was obviously a bad goal.
Definitely. Because
it had bad lineage. It had bad parenthood. There was bad DNA in that goal.
There was bad DNA.
And when it finally got to Carlson's stick, what's he going to do? He's going to shoot it.
It's not Carlson's fault. Yeah,
it's not Carlson's fault. Good for him. And he can use a goal.
Yes, he can.
The way the kind of playoffs he's had. But I just feel so bad for St. Louis, and I feel so bad for these unclear rules. Like I just read most of that 38-4 sub-9 rule. It's not limited to those things. The puck over glass.
It can be anything. It's about good goals.
It's about good goals. The question is, does the hand pass from Meyer to Nyquist become an isolated event, not called, after which the play goes on, and Nyquist gives it to Karlsson and it's in the net? Is there a disconnect there? But still, it's in my view, it's not a good goal.
So do these refs keep going, or do they get benched? Because that's tough. You're halfway through a series.
It is tough. This isn't about their interpretation of something. This isn't about them trying to make up. Like I think the crew that was in the Vegas game, they didn't see that happen either, but they presumed something happened based on the nature of the injury.
I agree.
And then they went over to the bench and said that this was a high stick up high and got him in the face, which he didn't.
Yeah.
So they actually started making things up.
Yeah.
And to me, that's, see ya.
Yeah, I agree.
You're done.
I agree with that.
Here, I think they were trying to, they probably gathered around and said, geez, I don't know.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, up on the jumbo there, man, it's not looking good. But did any of us actually see what happened there?
So at least they made the right decision and didn't make stuff up like in the other Vegas game. So that's a good point, actually.
So how do you put more accuracy into the game without slowing the game down? It's already too slow. If you see the world from my angle, it's way too slow. How do you do that? And I was listening to TSN 690 in Montreal this morning, and they had a panel on. And I think it was Rick Moffat who came on and said, do reviews on all goals that are in the last 5 minutes when the game is on the line. Or do it only in overtime if there's overtime.
Okay.
Or do it only if it's breaking a tie. If it's 7-2 and there's 3 minutes left in the hockey game, it doesn't matter if that goal counts or not. That's just a waste of time. Mm-hmm. I would be in favor of putting everything in the hands of the league. Remove the coach's challenge. Let the league determine in a transparent way. In other words, we know who's in the room in Toronto. We know their name. We know which other games they worked this season, and we know their approach to the rules. And they've passed a test or they've certified themselves in some way that they know this stuff cold. Mm-hmm. And have faith and trust in them. They're a human too. And they're going to maybe make the odd weird call, but they're going to try hard, and they're going to have millions of viewers to second-guess everything they do.
We should know who's in the room.
We should know who's in that room. Yeah. Absolutely, because...
And we should be allowed to listen to them.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. We do that now in soccer. right, or football, as some people call it, the ref has a mic.
Yeah.
And sometimes with the video review, which they have in some international soccer, it's not in every league just yet, but it's coming, I think, even to the Premier League next year, where the ref will do that, and that's his signal to begin a consultation over the radio. He's got a headset and a little microphone. And I guess it's not in soccer where we see it, but we do see it in rugby. I've seen this in rugby, where the refs are talking to people that are up in the booth.
We see it in international hockey too, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
When certain play-by-play people aren't talking over them, but
yeah, that's right. So make it transparent would be one way to do it, and have every play reviewable, whatever it is, every play. But Toronto triggers the review and knows when it's worthwhile triggering or it's not going to make a difference.
So remove the coach's challenge.
Yep.
What if you went the other way and gave more coaches challenge? So they get maybe 2 a game, and they can challenge whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's a goal, an offside, check to the head. It could be anything.
I guess I'm not...
Because that would slow down the game.
It would slow down the game, but if there's only 2 of them, and there's a risk for doing it, in other words, you lose something if you're wrong, and you're not doing it just to delay the game on purpose. Like there was I think a call just last night where it was about 10 minutes left in the third, and San Jose, I think it was 10 minutes left in the third. Maybe it was the previous game, but the game wasn't really in doubt or in question at that time.
It might have been the Boston game.
Okay, maybe it was, and it was a fairly obvious goal or no goal.
Yeah.
But the other, it was DeBoer. No.
Yeah, it was Boston because they were on a power play.
Yeah, it was Cassidy.
They rested their power play halfway through.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they did the call anyway, knowing it wasn't going to go their way, but that was their way to use a timeout.
Yeah.
Fine.
Which is fine. Yeah,
they lost the call. They lost their timeout. So people are walking out of the arena at the same time as they would have been had they made it a timeout instead, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really...
It's not even about the NHL, though. Like, they don't make the decisions. Basically, the GMs make the decisions. Because they're the ones who have to vote on these rule changes.
Yep.
Gary Bettman doesn't make these changes. He's the puppet of all the GMs. He's the speaker boy. It's the GMs who have the control.
It is.
So they have to make the decision of what has to happen. So it's on the teams. It's not on the NHL. So
no, that's right.
That adds just another complication to everything.
Yeah, it is really tough. The more technology we have, the less happy we are with how things are turning out because the technology is exposing.
Exposing, yeah, really.
Exposing these errors that maybe before would have gone away. Another point that was brought up, I think it was actually in the Sportsnet, it might have been John Shannon or someone brought it up today in the conversation with Colin Campbell. How many times have we seen an icing called or not called based on how close the puck was to center ice when it was fired across into the other end? I have seen players that far back from the red line, center ice, throwing the puck in the other end, and they don't call it icing.
I feel like it's become a lot more subjective to the officials to calling that. I think they added grace feet, like there was 2 feet or something like that. They allowed it,
but there's no line on the ice.
And that's the thing. It's like
it's very loosey goosey. And if we're going to be loose on that, but really, really tight on the blue line,
yeah,
to the extent that we have special cameras now installed that you say are like tennis balls. What did you call them?
Potatoes.
Potatoes. If we're going to care so much about the blue line and not care about the center ice red line, what's with that?
Yeah.
There's
so many inconsistencies.
Yeah. We have the same technology for both plays.
Yeah.
But is anyone going to call back an icing?
And that offside, that Landeskog offside specifically.
Yeah.
If he wasn't offside, wouldn't have been too many men because he was standing there for 8 seconds. So that goes into another gray area.
Yeah. If he's there, if his skate's on the ice, it's because he's there.
Yeah.
And if his skate is on the blue line, it's because he's there. And now you've got a too many men situation.
Yeah, so what?
Even yesterday, here's the craziest thing of all about that goal last night. The goal goes to Carlson. The first assist goes to Nyquist. And Meyer gets an assist on that play. He's got an assist.
He does.
So they know it came from Meyer. So they saw something.
So, okay, that's interesting.
What?
So they saw it hit Meyer. Maybe they thought it hit his knee or his something.
Maybe. I don't know. But okay, if you're saying it came from Meyer, but you don't know how it came from Meyer. But you know enough to give him an assist on the play. What is wrong with that
everyone
picture,
in the
folks?
arena knew that it came off the glove.
Oh, yeah.
Even the San Jose players, so yeah, I don't know. Do you mind if I name some of the other
please,
controversial things
I'd like
that
to know them,
happened? And I'm going to do this because I want to... Okay, first of all, do you think that the changes... after I read all these, do you think the changes should happen this offseason or during the next CBA?
If they... I can't imagine the NHLPA is going to get in the way of smartness.
So
I'd say sooner the better.
Yeah, I think it has to happen this offseason. It can't go another year of potentially dealing with what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay, so the McAvoy hit that was late in the Columbus game. There's no such penalty as a 5-minute major for checking to the head.
Right.
You get a minor or a double minor, whatever.
Yeah. But you can get a match or a misconduct on top of that for almost anything if they want to give it to you. But you're right. There's no 5-minute.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
How that played out.
Yeah.
Because he got a suspension, like he got a 1-game suspension, a suspension-worthy play, which did not remove him from the game that the incident happened in and punished him and helped another team, which is Carolina, helped. I'm not sure if it helped they lost, but like there are so many things wrong with that.
Oh, totally.
That doesn't even make sense.
The discipline should have happened and been dealt with in that game and in that series. For it to carry over into the next series completely disconnects the crime from the punishment.
So that should be reviewable.
I agree.
In my opinion.
Yep.
The Bishop injury, remember when he hit with the puck and he went down?
Yeah.
And Dallas didn't have possession, so they didn't blow the whistle, and then St. Louis scored.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
It's weird. I'm not sure where I am on that one.
I don't think that should have been a goal. Just like, again, is that a good hockey goal?
I don't think it is, mainly because normally they wouldn't blow it dead because the defending team didn't have the puck, but there's an opportunity for injury on Bishop at that point. He's defenseless. He's down. He's not able to protect himself, and the puck is coming at him. I would blow it on that reason alone right there and not count the goal.
Because I've seen injuries happen, and they'll blow the whistle regardless of who has the puck.
Yeah, if it's bad enough or if there's a risk of injury. And I think that's what happens here.
Bishop is clearly injured. He's not even paying attention. He's looking up at the ceiling with his hand on his neck or his shoulder or whatever. I think he even removed his blocker maybe too, or I don't remember. But I mean, clearly he was injured. So why wasn't the whistle blown? So there needs to be some clarification during that specific rule, or it needs to be a new rule implemented or something. So that's another one. That's 2.
All right.
3, we'll say the hand pass. We'll say is 3. 4, the Pavelski cross check to the head, or no cross check to the head.
Yeah.
So that should be
accident.
That should be reviewable.
Yes, I agree.
Majors should be reviewable.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should be the offside. Well, I don't know what they're going to do with the offside. I don't know how they make that better specifically. I think they just need to be a little bit less toit with it.
Yeah, when it comes from or for most of those plays like the ones you've talked about, I'm okay with more review. Offside, I'm less worried about.
There's so many different variations of an offside.
Really?
There's the dragging the leg, there's the toe, or was the skate lifted? There's so many things. It is a complicated gray area, so they have some work to do there. But number 6, puck hitting in the net, above or behind, above the glass, behind the net, because we saw that in the Columbus-Boston series where the puck hit the net, came down, went out front, and then they scored.
Yep.
Technically, that should not have been a goal. So they need to implement a rule there that makes that reviewable or something, or that's included in the coach's challenge reviewable categories. Like what?
There's another way around that. Forget what happened in Columbus 27 years ago. Take the nets down.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
Let the fans, right on the fans' ticket. You better watch the play because the puck might come and get you in the chops.
Yeah, but that was a kid that get hit.
I know. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
You should feel bad.
I take it back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other one that I thought of was the kick behind the net that put the puck out in front of the net, that he went off someone and then into the net, and it didn't count because it was a kicking motion, but it was behind the net. And why would someone make a kicking motion behind the net to score a goal behind the net when
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. So there was not really any intention there to score a goal behind the net with your foot. So why was it called no goal? Should have been a goal. Fix it.
Well, and that leads to the next argument that I did hear this morning on TSN 690. Why is kicking illegal anyway? Why can't you kick the puck into the net? Why can't you make a hand pass?
Can you do this with the elbow and knock it into the net? Does it count?
Yeah.
It does?
Let's say you can't close your hand over the puck and throw it in the net.
Right. That's a little different.
That's a little different. And if you do it, of course, if you're the defending player and you close your hand over the puck in the crease, it's an automatic goal, I think, now. But maybe change the rules so that if the puck does go off the net and come back out, it's still in play. Forget the blowing the whistle. Or make the play so that if you can kick it, you can go down there and go in there like a soccer player and put her top shelf with your skates.
I'm fine with that.
That would make sense.
I'm fine with that.
Now, for them to try to find the thing you can't do and then build all the rules around the thing you can't do, I think that's one of the reasons why we're where we are. Let players bat it with their fist into the net or kick it or whatever. Why not?
Okay, I have a scenario for you.
All right.
This has never happened in the NHL before.
Oh.
So how would you treat this?
Okay.
Tarasenko's coming in. It's a one-on-one. He flips the puck up to his face, grabs it with his teeth, has it like a burger in his mouth, skates around the defender, comes in on a breakaway, drops the puck out of his mouth. He's got the puck in his mouth for a good 4 or 5 seconds. Drops the puck out of his mouth, comes in and scores. Is that a good goal?
This season, with Tarasenko's stats so far in the playoffs, I'd give that one to him. Ooh, burn.
Yeah.
Try this one out. No refs or linesmen on the ice anymore.
Okay.
6 players on each side.
Is that including the goalie?
Yeah,
Okay.
including the goalie. So 5 skaters and a goalie for each team.
Okay.
No one else is on the ice. The officials are in the stands. They're watching from outside the playing surface, and and some others are watching on video. And there's a big honking buzzer that now replaces the whistle. And the officials aren't in the way. They're not there. Nothing's going to hit them. When they see something on the ice with their technology that they know is a stoppable play, they hit the button, and then the play stops. Now, of course, one of the downsides here is when players start fighting, who's going to break them up?
That's true.
So there's all kinds of reasons why this won't work. But if we have the technology to do it on a review, we actually have the technology to do it in real time. So let's have... Now, how do you drop the puck? Well, there's a way. We'll find a way.
What do you mean there's a way?
There's a way to drop the puck. Maybe you just put the puck in the ice. One of the players puts the puck in the ice.
You're changing the game so much.
I know. But I'm doing the whimsy thing here. Like, I'm just so...
What happens
We just spent 25 minutes talking about something even crazier.
I know.
Okay.
How do you kick people out of the face-off?
You don't. Look what they do in the international tournament, the IIHF right now. They don't kick you out. If you're infracting, if you're not lined up right, they warn you once, and you stay in, and then they drop the puck. If you infract again, it's a penalty. Easy. No kicking out. That's just power trips.
It's the same thing in the NHL.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, in the NHL, they kick you out. In the IIHF, they don't. They don't kick you out.
No, but you can still get a penalty.
Oh, absolutely.
If you screw up again.
Yeah. But, like, bring the person back in. Okay, one warning. Next time you're going to the box, you're going to the sin bin. You're going to ride the pine for 2 minutes, boy. But I like kicking them out. And, again, this all ties into my other thing where why do we have so many face-offs anyway? Well, let the team who just did a bad thing have to give the puck away so the other team gets possession.
That's changing the game too much, in my opinion. I see your point, but I think that's changing the game a little bit too much. If they want to spend more time getting plays right, and also bring down the time of the game or keep it where it is, can we stop with the fake dropping of the puck and kicking people out of the face-offs?
I'm down with
all
that.
All that bull crap.
I'm down with that
because that eats up the most time of a game.
Someone shoots the puck over glass. They get a 2-minute penalty for delay of game. In the time it takes them to skate to the penalty box and everybody to reassemble in the defending zone of the team that just defended, the linesman's there. He throws one guy out. Then he throws the other guy out. And now we got 2 new guys and finally drops the puck. The linesman has wasted more time and delayed the game more than Doofus who threw the puck over the glass.
Exactly.
So put the linesman in the penalty box. I'm done with this craziness. Yeah.
Anyways, it needs fixed. I'm going to keep this piece of paper.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to look at all of these things when the next season starts to see if all of these were addressed in the rules for next season. And guess what? Playoffs aren't even over.
No. Hopefully that list won't grow between now and middle of June.
It's going to.
I hope not. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.
That was fun.
It was fun.
I enjoyed it.
Good conversations like that. Yeah,
a little crazy.
I like theorizing on certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, I hope you can go down and hit the subscribe button and join us here on the channel for future videos. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Adios.